Hey folks, welcome back. Look, I got to tell you that you can't have an intellectual conversation with some people. It never goes anywhere. It's one reason why I never spent so much time on Twitter over the years because it was a cesspool of leftist hate wankers and abusive people. Then Elon Musk took it over, and we saw some rightist hate wankers and abusive people. But now it's kind of more balanced, so I pay a little more attention to Twitter. But I took a snippet of a previous video that I made in which I said that expropriation without compensation is never moral or just in any circumstances. It is never, never, ever reasonable, moral, or just for any government to take someone's property without compensation. That's a basic human right. And I put that up on Twitter just to share it with people because it's a little snippet. And it's just astounding the responses I got. The idiots who respond, the lack of intellectual depth and thought. It shows you just how bigoted and racist so many people are on both sides of the spectrum, whatever their skin color or pigmentation. So, for instance, I made that statement. It is unequivocal. It's quite clear that expropriation without compensation is an abuse by the state, no matter who the state is, whether it's the Soviet Union, it's the Nazi Germany, it's Imperial Japan, it's freaking, misuse of eminent domain in the States if you don't get compensated, but you do. It doesn't matter what it is. And I get this idiotic nonsense like the following. People saying, so you think this was just and fair? And they put a list up of the number of acts that were put in place to disenfranchise or take land away from people in South Africa. The Native Lands Act of 1913, the Native Trust and Land Act of 36, the Asiatic Land Tenure Indian Representation Act of 46, the Group Areas Act of 1950, one of the most famous ones, and on and on and on, all the way up until 1973. What part of never moral and just do they not understand? You see, this is the problem with bigots and racists. They watch a video or they don't watch it. They see the appearance of a person and they make a moronic assumption about what's going on or what's being said. I never said that apartheid was legitimate. I never defended apartheid. And I don't defend the garbage going on by the ANC now. It's no different. It's an abuse of power by the state to enrich a group of people at the expense of other people. And in the case of South Africa, it's going to be devastating to the economy. It's immoral. It's unjust. It's illegitimate. I don't know. Why do I don't understand the words come out of my mouth? Do I need to switch to another language? Soll ich auf Deutsch diese ganze Sache auf Deutsch erklären? Können Sie keine Wörter auf Englisch verstehen? Ja, vielleicht das ist das Problem eigentlich. Yeah, should I switch to German? Or perhaps we try another language. What's the problem? I said all expropriation. Stop being dumbasses and writing stupid comments on Twitter. This is ridiculous. This garbage of people acting like clowns. Grow up. But you know what? That's what Twitter is. And to some extent, that's what YouTube is. People living out their self-fulfilled fantasies and hearing what they want to hear. It's morally wrong and unjust. And in the case of South Africa's expropriation without compensation, it's also unconstitutional. I don't care what the Democratic Alliance tries to tell you or the ANC tells you. It's unconstitutional and it won't stand up to scrutiny in the court unless the court's captured. So listen to the words coming out of my mouth. Expropriation without compensation is never just, moral, or legitimate anywhere by any government at any time, regardless of whether it's a circumstances of war or whatever the excuse is or historical injustices. Is that clear enough for the people that are having trouble understanding it? If not, give me another language and I'll read it to you. Cheers, folks. Thanks a lot for listening. Appreciate your support. Bye-bye.